This boring village doesn't look like much right now, but by the end of the video, it's going to be almost unrecognizable. Forming, I got rid of all of the weird sand, and I also made it so that the island is fully detached. I think this just gives a better vibe and look to our village. From there, I started to add all of the houses that I transformed. As much as possible, I tried to keep the locations of the houses the same, just so that when the village is fully transformed, it's still going to have a similar layout as a vanilla village. However, the amount of houses I'm using World Edit, I first planned out the paths using diamond blocks, and then replaced them all with that I added was this really lush garden full of flowers and trees. To add even more color to our village, I added 3 market stalls, which are all packed with different details. I had this perfect open area beside the market, so I decided to build a small little pond. I added some boulders, a bunch of vegetation, as well as a dock so that the villagers can go fishing, and I absolutely love these lily pad designs that I added to the top of the pond. I built a custom oak tree next, and this is going to be the first of many custom trees that I build in this village. One of my favorite ways to fill large empty spaces is by adding crop fields. I surrounded this one with oak leaves and flowers, and I also added some scarecrows, which I think really tie the whole thing together. The village generated with this road leading to nowhere, so I transformed it into a dock and then connected it up to my pathway. This section of the village was getting pretty filled up at this point, so I added some more polish in the form of cliffs, custom trees, and a bunch of vegetation. Finishing up that section of the village, I went on to texture all of the pathways, and then I had the super fun idea of adding a large wheat field on the other side of our island. At the moment though, there's no way for our villagers to actually access it, so the next thing that I did was build a bridge connecting the 2 sides together. After building some more cliffs, I had the cool idea of turning this large open area into a flower farm. I divided it into 3 different sections, and then filled each of them with similar colored flowers. The center of the village was looking pretty bare, so I filled it out using some crop fields, custom trees, and a well. There was still quite a bit of open space though, so I added some more houses to expand our village even further. I connected the newly added houses to our pathway system, as well as added another pond tucked away in between the houses. After that, I built another garden box similar to the one on the other side of the island, and I filled it with trees and flowers. Behind the newly added houses, I built a bunch of custom trees, and then filled out the rest of the area with boulders and vegetation. I did more or less the same thing for the final section of the village, as it was too sloped to add any more buildings. The entire village was finished at this point, but the other side of the island was such an eyesore that I had to terraform it. All I did was make the water a little bit wider, smoothed out the terrain, and then got rid of any weird generation. I didn't want to go too overboard, as I want the village to be the main focus of this build. And as I add the last couple of details, I think it's finally time for us to take a look at the fully transformed village. I had so much fun transforming this village, so be sure to let me know if you want to see more large-scale projects like this.